Girls are around cooking, cleaning, doing anything that serves the man.
Oh, no, it's not about serving the man. It's a life skill everyone should learn.
Right, and what do you notice about the men's toys?
Yeah, let's talk about the men's toys. So the first one was an airplane, so a pilot. The second one is like a truck. Okay, truck driver, car mechanic. If we use the same framing you are, things that men do so he can serve a woman. Or is that just work?
They are everything that men actually enjoy. That's right, even from a young age, girls are programmed to do the cooking, to do the cleaning, to do the washing up. This is the fact that they are literally programming us.
Are they actually programming it, or is that just what little girls and little boys might gravitate towards? And I know for a lot of little girls like myself, when I was a kid, I liked to play with my brother's toy cars and other toys and action figures. It's almost like toys are fun for boys and girls. And I just typed in on Walmart girl toys and a light bright comes up, bracelet stuff comes up, nail art, some baby dolls in a stroller, a microphone for singing. Do women sing to serve a man too? Let's see. Okay, a little cute purse with a phone and sunglasses and lipstick and whatnot. See? Like just stuff a lot of girls like. And then I'm seeing stuff like the 3D crystal gem creations, makeup, dolls so she can practice doing hair, foam art, unicorn lamp painting kit. I'm actually not really seeing a bunch of like cleaning stuff. Unicorns, like a camera.
You enjoy your trucks, the things you're passionate about, as children, to literally cook, clean. And what do they do for men? Oh yeah, you enjoy your dinosaurs.
A lot of women and little girls enjoy dinosaurs too, and there's toys for them. Now, if your parents don't buy them for you, that's a different story.
That lady got on that live podcast and told them people proudly that her boyfriend helped nurse her back to health after 2 brain surgeries, cleaned her, wiped her, and now that she's feeling all better and feeling grown at 24, she trying to figure out how long she got to stay with him until she could feel appreciated, because they haven't been going on dates because his money kind of slow right now. And they were so graceful to her while also getting in her. Because me, I would have said, and that's why I can't be on no podcast, because I would have said, what do you mean you don't feel appreciated? He wiped your. After calling her saying, I then would have asked her, is this way of thinking the result or the aftermath of having 2 brain surgeries? And so you can see why I don't have a podcast. Anyway, blessings to her. Thank you.
When women make their own money, the last thing they want to do is support a man. Last thing they want to do is support a man.
No, when women make good money, they don't need a man because they make enough money. They have support.
Okay, repeat that sentence again.
When women make enough money, they don't really need a man.
Okay, say that one more time again. When women make what? What did you say? When women make money?
Enough money, they really don't need a man.
You do understand your sentence just defeated your entire argument, right?
No, it didn't. It didn't. But that's what I'm saying. You said women cannot be able to fight off or fend for the household if they couldn't pay rent.
Can we please cut this where women are saying, I left because I felt unsafe. I felt unheard. I don't believe that. I honestly don't. Because women are pushing their insecurities onto men. You left him because of your feelings. I honestly hate this. It's a huge cop-out to not take accountability for her personal destruction in her own life and the way that she's destructed the own relationship. Like, whenever women go on the internet being all like, well, the moment he makes me feel unloved, I'm gonna leave. Nah, you made yourself feel unloved but you're projecting that onto him because you don't want to admit that you're feeling insecure. You are looking at him to fill an unfulfillable void. Like, y'all are seriously leaving people because of your feelings? Seriously? Do you want a man to leave you because of his feelings? And I'm not even trying to say that these women are bad people. Like, I know a lot of you guys probably think like, oh, you know, based on the things Jenna says, it means I should leave. I am not an advocate for leaving someone. I'm an advocate for believing that they can change, building them up as a person. Because at the end of the day, we do need to take accountability for the way that people treat us, because they're always reflecting us, because we attract who we are. At the end of the day, like, women should stop caring about their feelings too much. It's gonna destroy everything, right? So if you're the type of girl who left a man based on your feelings, better apologize, because he was probably a good man and, you know, you couldn't take it. A lot of women cannot handle being with a good man because then all of their insecurities are coming out, and then the man doesn't even know how deep her insecurities are because she's not talking about it, and then she's sabotaging the relationship, and then he's thinking, oh, she doesn't want anything serious with me, when in reality she's just so insecure, and maybe she's not even self-aware of it. Like, it's just like, stop bullshitting people. Like, it's not his fault the way that you're feeling. You're an adult, take responsibility for it, but do not leave a good man because you don't like that he didn't do something the specific way that you wanted him to do it. Respect a man's timing. He's gonna do things on his own timing, and that's okay. One-on-one coaching and bio.
What's the biggest misconception most men have about women?
That they all want money. It's like, no, all women want money from men that they're not attracted to. The moment they're attracted to the man, they become free of charge. You know, they say all women have a price. Yes, but all women are also free of charge for the right guy. And you're forgetting that they all also have a discount. So just like they all have a price, they all have come with discount codes. And the discount code is how attracted they are to you. 90% of women have shared bills. They're with men that are not millionaires. If they all wanted money, how are all these average Joes getting married or in relationships? So they don't all want money.
The men that get upset at women for wanting a man with money, here's an idea. Find yourself a woman that doesn't care about money. There are plenty of women in this world that think time and attention is more than enough. So go get them.
First of all, we're not gonna judge her because we are sinners like she is, and that's not our work, it's God's work. There are things in life that are way more important than only thinking about money. Yes, the Bible talks about the man should provide and protect, but why people think that providing is only money? That is not only about money. Providing is for a man being faithful, providing his faithfulness. Yeah, that's something the money can't buy, and it's way important than money. What other things a man can provide? Peace, clarity, consistency. It's more important to have a man who is consistent with you, who show you that you are a priority for him, who bring you peace. And also you want a man who provides to be with you in the hard times, because everyone is with you in the easy times, but not everyone is with you in the hard. You want a man who provide maturity, wisdom, because some people are smart but they don't have wisdom. You know that? You want a man who bring you closer to God, not far away from God. So pay attention to that one, please. So there are more things in life that money can't buy. Pick the right one.
When women are in positions of power, they tend to f over everybody, including themselves. So when you give women the power in any relationship dynamic, what's her choice? To disrespect you and start talking to other dudes. Does that help her or the guy? No. She's gonna lose the house, she's gonna lose the kids. No one wins. You guys might think they're CEO or business-owned women. No, dude, they're being managed by some dude. They're not doing this all by themselves. There's always a guy in the picture who's helping them out. There's someone leading them. So there's no such thing as woman leading anything. When women lead, they lead it into the ground.
Woman is in love with a man, she will not want him to spend money on her.
Really?
When a man is in love with a woman, he will want to buy her everything, buy her the world.
I've never been loved. I thought I knew what love was. I I've never been loved.
This what happened when I think about you.
If you want a traditional wife, then be a traditional man. You cannot ask for stay-at-home wifey privileges if you don't have stay-at-home wifey money. You want me to clean the kitchen? I'm happy to clean the kitchen if I get to wake up at 10, I get to clean the kitchen, I get to go lounge by the pool, and then you come home at night. Like, sure, no problem. But if I'm waking up at the crack of dawn with you, we're both going to our two very demanding jobs, and then coming home, don't ask me for anything you're not willing to do.
You know, these modern women, they'll say stuff like, you want a traditional wife, then be a traditional man. Essentially, I think the issue is a lot of them, they don't really even know where they are or what they're doing. So it doesn't matter whether you talk about traditional or modern, they don't know where they're at. All they know is, I think I'm all that. I think I'm at the top of the food chain. And so if you're going to want me to do this, then you better be doing this, this, and this. They don't really understand that they don't have that type of bargaining power. They really don't have that type of negotiating power, to be honest. A lot of the stuff that they're demanding, you know, you haven't really even worked for it. Number one. Number two, you don't really even put in the work for it. Like, say for instance, if a woman is saying, if you want me to be a stay-at-home wife or whatever, then, you know, I should be able to get up at 10 o'clock. That doesn't mean that you get up at 10 o'clock and you have nothing to do and you just leisurely stroll around the house. Nobody told you that you can be lazy standing at the house. And that's what men say, is like, I'm at work all day. Then you want me to come home and help you cook and clean. Well, it's your house too. I know, but I'm working. You could be working too, but you're at home. So what I would have assumed, which you would have assumed right, that you would make sure the house is how it's supposed to be. Or else let's just both of us work and then we both come home and clean the house. Let's both of us work and then we both come home and cook dinner. Let's both, that's what men need to be doing. They need to be coming home and cooking and cleaning and taking care of the kids. Let me go a little bit further. Let's both come home and tend to the yard and tend to the car. Let's both do that. If there's something on the roof that I need to go fix, let's both do that. Let's both come home and make sure, hey, the AC is broken again. Hey, it's your turn. When something goes bump in the night, it's your turn. Period. And ain't no, well, you know, you got the license and you got the concealed carry, and all that other stuff. No, you need to go get it too. That's your responsibility. You live in this house too. You got to protect this house too. But of course, they don't want to hear that. They're not gonna want to hear none of that.
I'm gonna show you guys what weaponized incompetence is. It's something my baby daddy loves to use against me very, very well. Last night, I went to bed at like 10. I asked him, hey, can you please clean the bottles, right? And he did. He cleaned the bottles. They're right there. He also did not put dinner away. So there's that. He was in charge of dinner last night, and he just ordered us food. I can't do that because I'm not allowed to do that. But anyway, he left dishes in the sink because I didn't ask him to do that either. So if I were to ask, and he left a pan over there. So if I were to ask him, hey, I thought I asked you to pick up the kitchen last night. Oh, well, you only told me to clean the bottles, and I did clean the bottles. You didn't tell me to put the food away, and you didn't tell me to clean up the rest of it. That's weaponized incompetence. He's playing stupid to basically win an argument. Don't settle for this.
I may get a lot of hate for what I'm about to say, but is it possible that your man left the pizza boxes out with pizza in them because you can do that? It's just like pizza bread that gets left out. As far as the one plate and the one glass that I see in the sink, isn't it also possible that he cleaned up the full sink of dishes after dinner, but then after he finished cleaning up, he had a snack and a drink and relaxed, watched some TV, and then he just put them in the sink afterwards. And those dishes ended up in the sink because the dishwasher was running. Or maybe he's just the type of person that likes to have a full sink of dishes build up before he loads the dishwasher. And as far as the pan on the stove, it looks like it's clean and it looks like it belongs there. I don't know, like some people leave the most frequently used pan on their stove ready to go. My entire point is that your man probably has no idea that you're this upset. Well, until he sees this video. And then he is going to feel a certain way about you shaming him on here instead of communicating with him so that you both can get on the same page and be partners.
So my wife got everything in the divorce. She left the marriage a millionaire. I left with nothing. Basically got a bag of clothes. Legal issues, PTSD, depression, anxiety, bunch of debt, credit ruined, lost my career, my reputation, everything, right? She got it all, and I lost it all. Seems about fair, right? And before you women ask, no, I didn't do anything to deserve it. Was I a perfect husband? No. Did I cheat? No. No. Did I try to give her everything she ever wanted? Yes. And that was the problem. She wanted more and more and more. And then I went into a depression. And as soon as that happened, boom, like a bag of trash to the curb. In fact, you know the crazy part of all this? I've been dealing with this for 4 years. About 2 years ago, I said, you know what? I'm done. So I made a deal. Just get it over with, right? I'm just going to put all this behind me. I'm going to move. I'm going to leave. I'm going to go move with my parents for a year, put my life back together. And guess what happened? The court said no. Why? Because somebody doesn't want to let go. I've been dealing with the divorce for longer than we were actually married. And I'm going to be dealing with it for a few more years. No person should lose everything they ever worked for because of the person they married. It shouldn't happen. And yes, I was dumb. I was naive. I believed in love, and she believed in evil. So if you're a man struggling, you're not wrong. Okay? Just want to let you know that. This is the one crash out I'm ever going to have on social media. Hope you enjoyed it.
Are any other women out there just like exclusively approached by creeps and weirdos?
This video is exactly why a lot of men don't approach women anymore. And it's not a bad video. She did nothing wrong. But it's like I see posts all the time. There's one last week where it's like, oh, why aren't men using discernment to know like when it's a good time to approach a woman? And then I see women say like, why do all men like assume that they be the creepy men? Like she is saying she's exclusively approached by creeps. And common sense just tells us that those creeps that were approaching her didn't all know they were creeps. Like I've known men where he barely knows this woman, goes to her place of employment and then like tries to talk to her. And then like he comes back, he's like, bro, she wasn't feeling me. I'm like, yeah, bro, that's weird. But he had no idea, okay? So it's like, I feel like a lot of men are like, okay, what if there's something that I have no idea that I do that's creepy? So it's easier just to simply not worry about that in the first place. And in this video, she says she would rather not get approached at all than get approached by creeps, which of course makes sense. I feel like it makes sense for some men to be like, okay, let's just not approach women. We got other things. We got social media. We got dating apps. Like I feel like there's some women who have like just this selfish viewpoint of it where it's like, oh, like we're not getting approached. Like, come on, just approach. Like if she thinks you're creepy, she thinks you're creepy. And it's like, no, bro, we don't want to be that guy. Like obviously being like perceived as a creep isn't as bad as getting creeped on, but that's still not something that you want. Like there's no man in this world where they want like some woman to be able to say, oh my gosh, yeah, that guy, he was kind of like creepy and like weird. Like no one wants that. So it makes sense, especially like, you know, seeing all this stuff like this, like, oh man, there are creepy men approaching women, that men don't want to approach anymore. Just to be safe. Like I feel like you should appreciate that. I feel like generally like the general vibe should be like, oh, you know, like rather be safe than sorry. I appreciate that. But no, some of you are trying to get them to do it anyways. And bro, you're setting people up for failure. Because the thing is, some of these men who like aren't approaching because they're afraid of being creepy would be creepy by accident. Again, it's very rare that these men are being creepy intentionally. Like, seriously, like bro, like literally just have empathy for like a good like 15 seconds and you would understand.
Okay, but hear me out. Wouldn't it be crazy if men were meant to submit to women? And women were meant to protect and provide, which is why we're so good at it. But the patriarchy's convinced us that we need men to do that so they feel needed and we feel powerless. Wouldn't that be crazy? Okay.
I mean, but what else? What would that entail? What would that look like? I think a lot of times modern women just get on here and they just talk about what would be and the fantasy that they might be living in at the time of their crossing over into the land of delusion. But there are laws and things in place that need to happen in order for your takeover to commence and to be completed. What would those things be? What would it look like? Oh, wait, you probably don't have a plan for that, nor a strategy, nor can you enforce it. Interesting.
Men marry the safe girl much more than they marry the dream girl.
Interesting theory. I wonder if that can actually be proven. Or is that just something that some women try to say to justify why they've been left by a man for a better woman? Because from what I have seen, most men actually do marry their dream woman, someone who brings them happiness and peace, as opposed to someone who brings them nothing but nightmares.
And that is because protecting their ego matters more to them than chasing someone who would never accept anything less than the best.
Let's be brutally realistic for a moment. There are some women out there who really have not the slightest idea what actually makes a woman a good woman, or has any concept at all of what many men consider to be marriage material in a woman. Because just a friendly reminder, a lot of men usually know very early on in the stages of a relationship if they're ever even going to consider marrying that woman. But the reason most of these women are so lost in the sauce is because they spend the majority of their time listening to other women, mostly single women, describe the best ways to keep a man in a relationship.
And that's why most women are alone. Most women are bouncing guy to guy because men can see through their selfishness. You know, your actions are who you are. You can say you are caring, you can say you're this soft-spoken woman, but your actions are you. So if all of your actions are tied to yourself and building your own empire, building some sort of ego-driven purpose, men see through that because, quite honestly, men do the things that they have to do. Not every single man has the luxury to drop everything and go follow their dreams. But women, they'll do that in a heartbeat. Women will do that in a freaking heartbeat.
I really think it's worth talking about why ambitious women struggle finding ambitious men. And I've had conversations with friends about this. And when you ask men this question, a lot of them say the same thing. Because overly ambitious women tend to be in their masculine. They don't allow men to lead. They degrade men when they try. And essentially there's just no room for the man to be the man. And at first when I used to hear this, I used to genuinely be offended. Then I actually reflected and thought to myself, do I allow a man to be a man? Or not even just that, do I show a man that I even need him? Or do I allow my hyper independence to be my priority? I really think it's worth reflecting on.
I've just discovered the reason why it's so hard to find a good guy dating in 2023. And it's not because there aren't any left and all men are disgusting and all men are trash. That is completely false, no matter what you hear from other girls on TikTok. The truth is that the good guys are done with dating. They would rather be single and have their peace than be in a relationship and not be treated correctly. They're done playing the games, okay? Girls not being monogamous, them not texting them back, them giving them mixed signals, them opening up and sharing their feelings, and then a girl breaking up with them. They don't want to deal with that. They'd rather work a lot, go home, play some video games, watch a movie, and spend time with their dog or themselves than ever have to deal with women. I just want to know which one of you ladies messed it up for everyone, because dating out here is so hard.
I know of two men who got into a big disagreement on the phone. And these men are like brothers. Big disagreements on the phone, certain boundaries were crossed. The intentions were pure. No one meant to cross boundaries, but boundaries were crossed. I promise you, within an hour, called up each other. They're like, bro, forget it. I love you. And what did I tell you? This could never happen with women. I promise you, women don't know how to let go of this. I wish it was possible for women to reconcile with such ease and just to facilitate life for each other. No. Hath no fury like a woman scorned. But you know what? They need to put an amendment to that. It's not hath no fury like a woman scorned just in romantic relationships, even by another woman. She will go to her grave wanting to see you fail.
And I like what she was saying about men don't have the luxury of dropping everything and following their heartbeat, but women do. A lot of women do. A lot of these modern women do. They have their quote unquote safety net that they put pressure on. And you see more and more, even women say, because your parents not really going to say it because you're their child. So even though they might be upset about it and they might mention it, why don't you go do this? Or why don't you go get a job over here? Or why don't you try this? That's them trying to say, because they love you in a nice way, you putting a lot of pressure on me. Well, I don't have to do that. Let me tell you what, if you don't allow me to do this, then you'll never see your grandkid again. That's basically what they're saying. And they do all of this stuff and they put pressure on people and they try to take things from people and essentially, honestly and truly blackmail people into helping them and into staying in place. And they don't want to talk about that, but that's a type of abuse, what you're doing. Knowing that, hey man, you got something that I would, okay then, well allow me to do this, this and this. and then they taking people's kindness for weakness, and they're actually abusing people.
Should you accept the girl who didn't want you when you were down? No.
No.
You should not. I think you should ghost her, especially if you get back up.
How about now?
Yeah, I feel like back then they didn't want me. Now hot they all on me.
You heard?
Leave me alone. If you didn't want me back then, why you want me now?
I'm the same guy, just more paper.
Period. And I also think that if a woman, and maybe this is just my own mindset because this is what I've seen with my parents, if a woman can't help a man figure it out when she knows that that's not in his character to be down and out, if it's not in his character to hit a fetal position, but he hits a bad season, if she knows that about him and she leaves him because of the season, she doesn't deserve him. I honestly feel like if she's not willing to help him figure stuff out, she is there for her ego. She is not there for love, and she is not there for partnership. Women are being bought these days. Now, there are good women out here, and I just hate that the loud collective are baddies. I hate that the loud collective are the people that are saying, I don't need no man. I hate that the loud collective is actually not a representation of what the majority is.
I've truly reached a point where I find most women exhausting. This is the epiphany that has happened since I started social media. I never realized the level that most women will themselves. I never realized the level that most women will choose delusion over reality. A lot of women are extremely difficult to hold a conversation with. I don't have trouble with most men. Of course, they don't like my content in particular because it's not favorable for women to hear. Men need women to be delusional in order to deal with them. But at least they live in reality. At least they're not living in a fairy tale or a storybook. At least they're not looking for the soft life. At least they're not mentally stunted children in the brain in that way. But women will fake what they want, and they will act like they don't want certain things just to fit in with other women. There's women that are pretending that they no longer want men, that they want to be abstinent the rest of their lives, that they no longer want to interact with men. And I know that's not the case, and it doesn't need to be the case. There's no shame in still wanting to deal with men. However, women are so delusional in the fact that they think that they're going to be the exception to the rule, or they'll be able to mold men into what they want, and that's not going to happen. So the reason that women are saying that they don't want to date men is because they cannot mold men into the experience that they want to have with them. So they will say, well, I don't want to date men. I'm done with men. And it's only because they're not getting what they want out of it. Because what women want out of men is something out of a storybook or some type of fantasy. They're not willing to accept men for how they are. They think that they can change them, or they think that they will find some perfect man that's going to worship the ground that she walks on. They don't truly like men for who they are. They like the fantasy and the delusion that they have in their mind that they've carried on with them since they were a child.
Men commit differently than women. Men pick up the whole package. So they start by they're looking for a woman with complementary strength. They are looking for strength, and they see women that's really, really, really strong, but they don't need to be duplicated. And they don't want to be duplicated. They want to be admired for the ways that they're strong that you aren't. And the only reason they want to be admired by you is because they admire you. It's not because they think so little. We want to be admired by the people we admire. So men scan for complementary strength. It's in their nature. They do it all the time. We do it too for a different reason, but they do it. It's like they're always filling a team or looking for a partnership.
She was drugging men and getting money off of them.
She was drugging?
The shit that I did so motherfucking survive. I don't to go, oh yeah, you wanna me? Yeah, let's go to this hotel. And I drop up and I rob them. That's what I used to do.
And we talk about men who pimp young girls out, human traffic them, because they was probably in survival mode. They probably didn't want to go get a job. I'm not saying this.
Dirt bags. That ain't no survival.
All right. But no,
dickhead. Now, what do you say about her?
Because if you're saying that somebody was doing that in a setting where men was already
accountable, we said he's. I ain't even. Now, I want to hear.
Because I'm not about to sit here and be like, oh, she is a dirtbag for something that she did when she was in survival mode. When she was in survival mode. I'm a girl's girl.
If men should pay for dates, what should women do? If men should be chivalrous, what should women do?
Be ladies.
But you've already disqualified. You cannot definitionally be a lady if you're worker.
Exactly.
So I guess beyond being a worker, if we can say men should do these things, what can we say women should do?
Treat you with kindness and respect and love.
But I'm looking for something that is unique to women. So for example, when you say men should pay for first dates, men should be chivalrous, men should provide, protect, that's one direction. That's going from men to women. But so again, the question is, and I'm getting crickets here, what should women uniquely do? Checkmate. Nothing. Come on.
Most women you meet in clubs, bars, or lounges are just using you for free drinks. So I highly recommend most of your code approaches being in person during the daytime. When you meet women out, you're drinking, they're drinking. These women are just so opportunistic. As soon as they see some 1942, Casamigos, some Hennessy, they're just gonna come, enjoy themselves, and usually leave. Even also, most instances where I've even seen guys being in clubs or bars, I'll see a guy be talking to a girl all night, he hooping with her, doing his thing, and the very last 5 minutes of the party, she's leaving with another guy. I've been in that situation. I'm doing my thing with a girl, I go to the restroom, I'm just gone for a few minutes, I come back from the pisser, she's with another man. That's how quick it is, because once again, alcohol is being involved, so these women, their judgment is poor, your judgment is also poor. You know, you get Hennessy vision, Casamigo vision, you see what I'm saying? Like imagine that, you done drop some bread on some mid. She calling you ugly. She ugly too. And you like, yo, she dissing you. You like, yo, this is mid work. And she dissing me. So to not fall into that situation, just don't be in that environment to begin with. I do not recommend you going out spending $1,400, $2,000, you know, on bottles. You know, even if you go to the most regular spot, man, a bottle end up being $700 for one bottle. You know, it's not worth it. Just for a girl to come online and to diss you, you ain't get no box. You know what I'm saying? You ain't get nothing. All you got was some IG highlight stories for 24 hours, man. So do better, gentlemen. Don't waste your money. It's too much money you're spending when you go into these venues. Stop giving, you know, your money to these venues. It's not worth it. You know, the interest of the women is always questionable. Trust my baddies only. If you need help with your dating psychology, you want to know better places to meet women, I will fly to you in person. I will coach you, fix your image, fix your approach so that you can attract high-value women and secure them and go on dates consistently every week. DM me app.
Men tend to become friends with women to sneak their way into relationships. Okay. So this might be something that women don't want to accept. I think they innately understand it, but they will never admit it because they need multiple men. They need friends because let's say I say, I'm going to take care of you and I don't. Where are they going to go to? They need someone else to hop to. Right. So they're going to keep multiple men around for this reason. That gives her a little bit of security and in a sense to protect themselves from you not handling your responsibility. So they have male orbiters and men that are friends and these type of things. The men, and he will continue to push. He will continue to text message her. He will be just a friend. And she'll be like, oh, it's just Johnny. You don't have to worry about him. And Johnny is positioning himself to be the fall.
What makes a woman stand out in today's dating world?
I would say this is going to be a tough one for you to swallow because today with all these girls posting their thotty pictures all over Instagram and the internet, I think a girl who's more reserved is going to stand out today when it comes to modern dating a little bit more. Good news is, the key thing that makes a woman stand out is really just her looks. Guys will look past a lot of things as long as the girl's pretty enough.
How does a conservative woman get found in today's world?
That's a great question. How does a conservative woman get found in today's world?
Why do men look for housewives when they don't have a house? Why are men concerned with gold diggers when they have no gold to dig?
Oh, it's only, okay.
I'm just curious.
Okay, hold on.
I'm just wondering. Just a question.
First things first. That's too much.
You want a woman to cook in your kitchen? What kitchen? Where? Where is it?
I have all the potential to have a house and be great in a kitchen. I don't have it yet.
This one might get me into a lot of trouble, but if you as a woman think that saying, where are all the good men? Or good men are few and far between, good luck finding one. If you think that will help your cause, as if it brings you closer to finding a good man. it will actually do the exact opposite. Because when a good man hears a woman saying this, it only confirms to him that she is not so unlucky that she's never run across a good man. It's that she doesn't value the good men that she's run across. But here she is, playing victim, which really, really, really annoys him.
This woman says that her best friend kicked her out of her wedding because she wore a yellow dress. That's awful. Let's see what she has to say.
You guys really want to see the yellow dress that got me kicked out of my friend's wedding.
We do.
And I'm not one to disappoint you. So I'm going to go put it on, and you're going to tell me, is it yellow or is it white? Let's go. Wait. I really don't think you guys
If
are ready
a white
for this,
is yellow?
Okay? Now listen, I really thought that yellow would be totally appropriate to wear to a wedding. I never in a million years thought that this dress, you tell me what you think.
There was a woman asking, how does a conservative woman get found in today's world? It'll be in the way that they dress. It'll be in the way that they carry themselves. Essentially, what it will be. A lot of these modern women try to put on an act. Unfortunately, they are who they are. And so their actions betray their words. I'm thinking I'm going to go out here and I'm just going to act like this and I'm going to get a man that does this, this, and this. But unfortunately, with the way that you act, you can't keep that up forever. So a man finds out that you're out there in the street doing whatever it was that you were doing. And let's say that you were out there in the street doing whatever you were doing and you decided to change your life. Right? You get the man and you can't even stop talking about it. You parade it around and I used to do this and I got railed out by 20 guys. You don't have to say that. Even if you say that to him, you don't have to say that out to the world. You could just say, man, I was living a life that was just too much. And I was out there involved in a lot of bad stuff. But, I decided to try to turn my life around and try to be a better, way better version of myself. And I'm so glad I had a chance to do that. Instead, modern women, instead of reading the room and having some sort of decorum, yeah, man, I was all over this guy and he was all over me. Kind of like, what's her name? Akash, his wife. Yeah, man, I want this man to lick me up and down like this and to turn me sideways. What are you doing? You don't even have to say all that. It don't require all that. And a man gonna hear that and be like, oh no, absolutely not. Y'all don't know how to stop embarrassing yourselves. That's why you don't get picked.
There's this trend going, oh, nobody's coming to save you. Have you ever had a man that loves you? My husband is 1000% coming to get me.
There are so many benefits to having a relationship like this, where the man is the protector, he's there for her in an instant, and then the woman, she appreciates it. She outwardly acknowledges that her life would not be as good without that man. Where so many women get it wrong, and they continue to get it wrong, especially on social media, is that they think that they have to be the strong and independent woman, and they cannot bring down their walls. They preemptively bash all men, and then they'll just claim that there are no good men left in the world. Meanwhile, here's the evidence. She's with one. The difference being is that she found the man wanted to be with her, so she was a high quality woman in his eyes. And I bet you anything, over the development of their relationship, she brought this out in him through her love and through her appreciation.
Didn't that also explain perhaps men's hesitance to commit to women, because women are much more likely to be the ones to initiate the breakup or initiate the divorce?
So men are scared of us?
They're not scared. I don't think it's scared.
No, I mean, they're terrified of you, right? No, it's not scared, terrified.
Okay.
But not because of you. They're terrified of the situations which happen around women that lead to really terrible outcomes for a lot of men. That's what they're terrified of.
Okay. I could see that.
Women can have sex just like men. This right here is the most dangerous lie that feminism has sold to millions of women. Feminism is always aiming for equality for women, and in many ways they have achieved that. They secured the right to vote, to have financial freedom, as well as the right to work. But as the battles have been won and equality has been achieved, the fervor for more equality has blinded them, where even inequalities that are biologically built in now need to be destroyed. This inequality is most apparent when it comes to sex is not the same for men and women, and it never can be because of the risks attached for each gender. Pregnancy, assault, and even getting are all real possibilities because at the end of the day, men are just stronger and more aggressive. And it's really hard to tell whether a man is going to honor you and take care of you because he's a good man versus a man who's just pretending to be a good man in order to have access to you. Previous generations solved this issue by recognizing as something very sacred because it has the power to create life. So they treated a woman's body and trust as and relegated this union between man and woman to marriage. Why? Because marriage offered a whole bunch of security that a casual encounter just couldn't. There was safety in the contract of marriage. The man was legally bound to his wife as well as to his children and had the societal and financial responsibility for them. This gatekeeping of was really effective because it forced men to have to work for that privilege through marriage. They had to prove to be worthy of a woman, to be worthy of someone's daughter. They had to be financially responsible, have a good reputation in their society, and show a willingness to step up to those responsibilities. Now, of course, there were instances of just terrible men pretending to fit the bill, but overall, the system worked really well in protecting women, but more importantly, forcing men to grow up. Now, fast forward to today, where in our society, one of the biggest problems that we're facing is that men seem to be caught up in this perpetual arrested development. Even well into their 40s and 50s, there are these instances of adult toddlers, and cities like San Francisco and New York have turned into Neverland, where people really just don't have to grow up. The combination of dating apps as well as the proliferation of hookup culture has ended that noble act of men courting women, and honestly turned into a commodity. They have reduced down to a meaningless act. The push to have sex like men was aimed to empower women, to help them claim their sexuality and throw off societal expectations. But has it actually helped women? Aimed at freeing women, the revolution has actually freed men to use women, all while telling women to feel empowered by being disposable.
Men do a lot to be better men, and we're told they're not told to keep a woman. But women are trying to prove that they don't need a man. But it's like the opposite.
Because when we get money so that we can take on dependence. I can have a family, I can have kids. When women get money, it's for your independence. I don't need a man. I don't need this. I can buy my own house. I can buy. But if you do that, you take away his need. If you got the house, the car, and he has no purpose for that relationship. So he will not have the vigor it takes to make sure that the relationship is abundant, joyous, and in harmony. He doesn't have the joy.
He can provide emotional intelligence.
It don't work like that. You can't tell a man what's intrinsically important to him just because you want it to be important. When you take away, that's why so many successful women are single. That's why. And I'm not saying that their decision was right or wrong. I am saying that they're devoid of being able to pair bond with the kind of man they want. And if they're going to successfully pair bond or have a half a chance at it, they got to date down.
Provide me loyalty. I can finance myself.
A man don't operate like that. If a man is a man, we're natural teachers. So if we're not trying to teach you what we know, we really don't like you. That's the quickest way to see a man.
What does that got to do with loyalty?
I just said men don't work like that.
Right.
I started off with that. That platitude means nothing to a man. You can repeat it, regurgitate it, and put it on your picture 3 times and your story, and the man still ain't gonna resonate with, I can buy my own car, give me loyalty. No. Intrinsically, we have to feel needed and necessary to the relationship. You came having everything. You don't listen. You have an attitude and you think your accolades, your success, and your bank account makes us an equal.
Yeah,
and it does not.
I asked, what does that have to do with loyalty? I didn't say she's got an attitude, she's got this. No, what if she's in her feminine and she just wants loyalty?
The way a man sees loyalty ain't necessarily the way a woman sees loyalty, because we're hardwired differently. If he cannot build with her and further build her up, that relationship will end 1 year from now, 6 months from now, 3 years from now. If he cannot come in and build with you, build you up, further his provision and get you on his page, the relationship won't work unless you date down. You have to date down, because those are where the betas are.
The best thing a woman can do for a man is to let him be a man.
There's never a dull moment when women consistently prove my point when I say that they are way more than men in regards to how they employ multiple tactics to try to destroy another woman, or in some cases, another man.
Women hate women, and I'll forever say that, okay? They're only girls when it benefits them or when they're supporting stupidity, but truly or deep down, they hate women. The moment you start disagreeing with them, they will find ways and means to tear you down, to hurt you in however way that they can.
For example, a girl with the septum ring, her sycophants leaving a negative review on my business page. So riddle me this, Batman. What is your point and your purpose of doing that? For me to go out of business? For me to fire my employees so they can't work and they can't provide for their family? For me to no longer be able to provide for my family and to be homeless? Because when y'all try to cancel people, y'all do it in such of an extreme that it's like it makes you feel good. And this is why I say people who make being a victim an entire personality and identity are hurt people always hurt people. And y'all prove my point every day with this entire situation.
Men need to date within their tax bracket and stop getting mad that the woman they want has high standards. You don't walk into a luxury store and get mad that the prices are high. You can either build up your money and wait to buy what you want or shop where you can afford. Dating works the same way. A woman with high standards makes insecure men feel uncomfortable, not because they're asking for too much, but because she reminds them of what they haven't built yet. If you want to appeal to a high standard woman, focus on building your income, your discipline, your purpose, and self-respect. Build yourself up to attract the standard of woman you desire.
Jesus Christ. They all want to date the same guy.
Men do not date. Dating is for women. And she calls it getting to know each other. Wrong. It's an audition. A lion does not schedule interviews with meat. He already knows he likes the meat when he saw it. What are you even talking about with the woman anyway? Please. Weak men date because they want approval. If you keep playing the dating game, you're just choosing to be evaluated. And the men who get evaluated rarely get chosen. Cheers.
So I just seen this girl say the problem with this generation is that men don't chase women no more. Who the do y'all think y'all are? You know why we don't chase y'all asses no more, bro? Y'all too full of y'all self, bro. Y'all ego is unlimited. There was a point where if you chased a woman, all she took that was as a sign that you really wanted her. But y'all now, boy, then what blows me is y'all be having the nerve to feel away when y'all see the nigga with somebody that actually wants him. Like, what the he going through, y'all?
And I think it's kind of hilarious, that skit where the woman was saying, you want me to cook in your kitchen, and you don't even have a kitchen. you want me to be a housewife, and you don't even have a house. Where am I going to be a housewife at? That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. But I would say, we can make all of these jokes until the man actually has a house and he actually has a kitchen. And he actually, that's the problem. A lot of these modern women, they be talking all that stuff until they run into a man that has that. And now you got to put up or shut up. Get on in that kitchen. Go ahead, shut up, wash them clothes, clean that house. Well, can you hire me? Or no? No, I'm not hiring a maid. I'm not hiring a chef. Go on in there and do your responsibility.